Your Excellencies, distinguished head and director of debt management offices across Africa, eminent PFMA faculty member, representative of the government of Ethiopia, private sector practitioner, and civil society organization, distinguished participants, guests, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you warm greeting of the President of the African Development Bank Group, Dr. Akumi Adesina. On his behalf and on behalf of my colleague in the Economic Governance and Knowledge Management Complex of the bank group, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the inauguration and peer learning session of the African Debt Manager Initiative Network. Let me begin by thanking the government and the people of Ethiopia for graciously accepting to us in this beautiful city of Addis Ababa. I also thank all of you, our head and director of debt offices across Africa, for accepting to grace this significant event in person and online, amid all your busy schedule. Making debt work for Africa and achieving sustainability depends significantly on the leadership and the strategy employed by these distinguished ladies and gentlemen in our debt space across Africa. We appreciate your presence. One of the objectives of the bank multidimensional action plan for the debt management and mitigation of debt distress risk in Africa is to set up an Africa Debt Manager Initiative Network as an instrument to make debt work for Africa. Through this initiative, the bank plans to engage in high-level policy dialogue and peer learning on debt sustainability at subnational, national, regional, and continental level, leveraging resources and network wherever they may be found. Specifically, Action 1.2 of the action plan, the debt action plan, propose that the bank will participate and use high-level global forum to engage in dialogue and carry out the African voice high on debt matter on the continent and globally. The admin is proposed as one of the platforms for achieving this objective. The goal of the admin is to bring together debt managers on the continent to provide tailored and homegrown solutions to the debt challenges facing the continent. It's also aimed to strengthen the debt management capacity of officials and institutions of African countries toward a speedy resolution of the debt challenges that these countries face, restore macroeconomic stability, and support inclusive growth, and finally encourage experience sharing amongst debt managers in regional member countries. The network seeks to achieve this objective through targeted knowledge, brokerage, policy advocacy, policy dialogue, apply analytical work, staff exchange, and peer-to-peer learning in public financial management and debt management. The network will leverage the bank franchise value as a trusted partner, as well as its convincing power to advocate and really political and international support for thorough, deep-rooted governance reform and at continental, regional, national, subnational level to improve debt management and in African countries. Following the consultation session in Abuja in December 2023, where African debt managers agree on the necessity for the admin and its operationalization, the African Development Bank has also reaffirmed its commitment to this network and are convinced the continent debt manager to formally inaugurate the admin and also to host the first peer learning session focusing on developing and deepening the domestic debt market in Africa. It is this peer learning session, expert and practitioner, including debt manager, capital market, operator, commercial bank operator, and regulator, including Security and Exchange Commission and Central Bank, will share practical way that domestic debt market can be developed and deepened in the continent. Their knowledge and experience will provide experimental insight for countries that have no domestic debt market, growing or advanced domestic market, debt market, on how to ever develop or deepen this market. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, and on behalf of the President of our African Development Bank Group, Dr. Akumimi Adesina, I have a singular honor to formally inaugurate the African Debt Manager Initiative Network as initiative to advance the development for debt management, transparency, and productivity on the continent. I wish you a fruitful learning and networking session. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much. So, now that the baby has been born, what next? What do we do? Okay? Naturally, it is to nurture the baby to grow. Okay? So, we have outlined a number of thoughts on how we are going to move forward, which you will have to contribute to. First is, what kind of activities should the admin be embarking on, okay, to achieve its objectives, as has been highlighted in the presentations during the opening remarks and also during the inauguration. Secondly, what will be the operational modalities? How do we organize ourselves to make sure that we are productive, okay, and that we grow? The next one is who are the other stakeholders that will have to get involved into this process to make sure that the benefit of our convening is useful to the continent at large. Like we've seen from the discussions today, it is not only about government. It's both private sector and government, and indeed, the end is about the people of Africa, about development, about giving good life to the people of Africa. So who are the other stakeholders that we need to be working with going forward? Then the last thing is the governance structure. Okay? How are we going to be organized and managed? Actually, it's an activity of the African Development Bank, but it takes two to tango. You cannot wash your hands clean with one hand. So both the network and the bank has to work together in organizing and managing this network to make it achieve its purpose. So these are some of the thoughts that we have as the things that we have to be looking at going forward. But because we don't have enough time again, I'm not sure if we are going to be discussing this today. We are going to have another convening, either virtually or by any means, to have a robust discussion about these things, to harvest your thoughts, and to develop a proper plan based on this. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you permit me, I would like to invite our Director, African Development Institute, our amiable and infatigable Dr. Eric Ogunleye, to give us his closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I hope to be amiable and, what did you say again? Someday. Indefatigable. So I think it's been a very long day. And I want to thank all of us, for sitting here quietly and patiently since 8 o'clock or thereabout till now. That's about 12 hours or thereabout, or 10 hours. I think it's really great. That shows our commitment to these very important initiatives. So I want to thank you very much for your presence, not just coming, but sitting to deliberate, to exchange views, and to learn from each other. So that's my first thank to all of you, the debt managers who are coming from across Africa. Thank you very much for coming. Please, a very warm round of applause. Like my colleague said, I know some of you joined us in Abuja when it started the brainstorming exercise. And this is the second one. Now we are formally inaugurated. We'll be reaching out to all of us individually and severally because we have to play specialized roles. As I said in my introductory remarks in the morning, it is on your wings that this initiative will soar. Remember, this is African Development Bank's homegrown solution to managing debt productively and sustainably in Africa for the good and benefit of African people. So we look forward to your very active engagement. We'll be creating a platform, a forum where we can interact. And so please, when we reach out to you, feel free to respond and to contribute to ensuring that we make debt work for Africa. So let me start again by thanking the government of Ethiopia for hosting all of us in this very interesting event. The environment has been very welcoming. Some of us were not here on the first day. The Minister of State for Finance and Economy of Ethiopia was here with us to declare this meeting open. So we thank them very much for their show of hospitality. We also want to thank all our colleagues who have worked behind the scenes, our interpreters, our IT colleagues, our communication experts, our service providers, those who keep us safe here. We thank you all for all your several contributions to making this work. I also want to mention our friends who made a lot of sacrifice to be here. One of which I think I must mention by name is Laju Atake. Honestly, he deserves a rising ovation. Like I said, he slept at the airport on a bench. Did you even sleep at all? Thank you so very much. We appreciate the sacrifice. And there's another colleague also from Botswana who had similar issue. Please, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Again, this is a demonstration of the type of Africa we want to see. Africa where the people are committed to ensuring that the continent work and work for the good of the people. They could as well have just turned back at the airport and say, okay, what else? Let me just go, that's it. But imagine they braced it, and that is what we want to see. There will always be challenges in life. But how do we face it? That is the problem, or that is the issue. For Africa today, debt overhang, debt burden, debt distress, risk of debt distress are major challenges. So, like these two colleagues, how do we face it headlong and ensure that we brace it and that we deal with it? That is the Africa we want. That is the Africa of our dream. So let's continue to be dedicated to this continent, especially in this small little way it seems. But remember, you're the one carrying this responsibility in your respective countries. If you do the little you can in your different roles, you can rest assured that all of these will culminate, come together to become major success for the continent. We also want to thank the authority of this, or the management of this hotel, for making this facility open to us. We really appreciate the service they give. Did you enjoy the food? For some of us who are coming to Ethiopia for the first time, did you manage to taste their traditional food? Okay, please try if you haven't. You still have one meal? You can try during dinner. So thank you very much, Hilton Hotel, and all the service providers, the ushers, the service givers. We really appreciate all the support that they provided. So once again, I might not be able to mention the name of everyone, but just rest assured that we appreciate all your support and all your contributions. Now, especially to my team from the African Development Bank, they did marvels. Some of us didn't sleep until 3 a.m. trying to rescue our colleagues who were stuck at the airport. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Please, our ICAD colleagues, if you can please rise to be recognized. And our boss here, Mr. Abdullahi, you are one of us. Are you not? Emeka and Mina, you're not standing? You're one of us. So thank you very much, everyone. I think that is what makes a team. A situation where people can work together, understand each other, complement each other. I also want to thank especially the task team lead for this project in the person of Mr. Chidiebere Ude Ibe. He did a lot of work. I'm sure he communicated, reached out to all of us. So most likely, he's the main man you'll be hearing from. So please, thank you so much for the sacrifices and for all you do. So once again, thank you everyone for all you did to make this a success. We look forward to reaching out to you, and we look forward to continuing the conversation. So we wish you a safe journey for all of us as we go back to our different destinations. Once again, thank you for coming, and have a very wonderful evening.